Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Very pleased to have on the author of a brand new book that we're going to talk about. Michelle Seiler Tucker is here with us here. And Michelle, how are you? Welcome.
I'm very good. Thank you very much for having me, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm excited to talk about your book, but first, let's tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, as you said, I'm Michelle Seiler Tucker. I live right here in New Orleans. My office is here in New Orleans on Magazine Street, and I love this city. I wasn't born here, but I feel as if I were. And I sell businesses. I specialize in selling businesses anywhere from 50,000 up to millions. And we sell all types of different businesses.
Is this a good region to do business? You're from a different part of the country, so I'm sure you're familiar with other economic climates around the country. So
right. How
are we doing here?
You know, every area is different. The nice thing about my industry is there's 27 million businesses in the United States. 27%, at any given time, 25% will be up for sale. 18 to 20% will actually change hands. So no matter where you are, there's always sellers that need to sell their business for a multitude of reasons. Mm-hmm. And New Orleans is just as good as other areas.
Okay, well, let's show folks your book. It's Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, and that's the goal of everybody, right?
That's right, absolutely. You work all these years to build your business, so you want to sell it for maximum value.
Right, and I want to show folks that you're right there on the back. So,
and I do have other suits, I promise.
And you're, well, you have a successful suit, so you're going to stick with it. So, tell us a little bit about how do you do that? Because I know a lot of people that are business owners who have told me, well, I didn't sell my business for what it was worth. I sold it for really a deep discount.
Yeah, and it really depends. It's all about planning. And the biggest mistake that sellers make is they don't plan their exit strategy. You really should plan your exit strategy from day one of starting or buying a business. Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds odd, but it's true. You need to have the end game in mind, and most sellers make the fatal mistake of selling due to a catastrophic event, and at that point the business is typically trending downward, and they're going to have to sell at a steep discount.
So when you get in, already be planning your exit.
Absolutely. I know it sounds crazy, but already be planning your exit, and that encompasses a lot of things from branding to customer base to management team, etc.
Now, you've in your career owned and operated 8 businesses. Mm-hmm. Right now you own 4.
Yes.
And they, from conversations before we started, they're in different fields, right?
Correct.
So is there any one particular area that you recommend is a good sort of type of business to get into?
Well, that's a difficult question because it really depends upon the buyer and what their skill sets are, what their passions are, what they're wanting to accomplish, and every buyer is different. So it really depends upon the individual buyer. I mean, 3 out of my companies are strategic. They are congruent. It's one of my businesses that is not, that I started many years ago. So many of my buyers are strategic buyers. They buy businesses to add additional profit centers. They add businesses to maybe serve a need, maybe staffing. There's many reasons people buy businesses.
Michelle, from your experience, what's the one fatal mistake that business owners make that really turns their business from a success to a failure?
Well, like I said, the biggest mistake that they make, I mean, there can be many, but first and foremost, people do not plan their exit strategy. They sell when they have to, not when they want to, and the best time to sell your business is when your business is doing well. The other mistake that business owners make is they don't brand themselves. 95% of businesses are not branded. 95%, that's huge.
Now that just is a lack of effective marketing, or?
That's lack of effective marketing. I mean, if you notice, there's a reason why I wore the suit that matches the book. It's branding. And you really have to brand not only yourself, but brand your company as well.
Now in the book, you talk about the importance of a business broker.
Right.
Tell us, why is that? Why can't a person just go out and sell the business on their own?
Well, for many reasons. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of intricate details involved in selling a business, and many business owners are involved in the everyday operations of their business. Many business owners have no idea what their business is worth. Some overvalue it, some undervalue it. Many business owners have no idea how to find buyers, and more importantly, they have no idea how to qualify buyers. 60% of all sellers who attempt to sell their business fail, 60%. And most deals fall apart between buyers and sellers because the buyer was never qualified in the first place. So the bottom line is business owners are busy running their business, and also confidentiality is a concern. Believe it or not, confidentiality, if a seller breaches confidentiality and starts telling people they're selling their business, they try to sell to their employees or customers, that can ruin their business.
Now, is there like a rule of thumb on how to value a business, like X number of years, gross profits or gross revenue, or is there a formula that works?
There are a lot of different formulas, and there's also a lot of different misconceptions.
Okay.
You know, many people think that it's a percentage, a multiple of gross revenue, and it's not one size fits all. There's a different formula for every industry. Some are a multiple of EBITDA, some are a multiple of EBIT, some are a multiple of seller's discretionary earnings, some are a multiple of...
So it varies industry to industry?
Absolutely, it varies industry to industry.
Now, is there a particular good time to try to sell a business, either a time in the life of the business or a time of the year even? What have you found?
Well, you know, in New Orleans, it seems like buyers don't want to buy during Mardi Gras and the summertime. And so New Orleans climate is a little bit different than other places.
Saint seasoned.
Saint season. I mean, there's like a lot of holidays that we have to structure the sales around.
We specialize in holidays.
Absolutely. But the best time to sell the business is really when the business is doing well, when we've planned the sale. We will work with our customers to make sure that they have management in place, make sure that they have a healthy customer base, and make sure that they have revenue streams. You know, if you don't have a healthy customer base, management in place, and multiple revenue streams, it's not going to be attractive to a lot of buyers for many reasons.
So business owners come to you when they want to sell their business, and you're sort of an expert in finding that right buyer for that business. Have you ever had some folks that you've dealt with that just couldn't sell for whatever reason?
Yes, I mean, not every business sells. I love to sit here and say they do, and I will say that we sell more businesses than most business brokers do, not only because we don't just list the business, we work with the seller to position that business for sale and position it in the best possible light so that when we're ready to show it to buyers, it will be in demand by many buyers.
All right, now we've talked about, I think, some important things, but as far as getting that extra value more than it's worth, okay, that seems to be quite a hat trick there. How do you do that?
Well, I have some, you know, magic up my sleeves, but many things that go into that. We look at the financials, but we also look at the business. Is the business branded? Does the business have intellectual property? Do they have trademarks? Do they have patents? Do they have contracts in place? Do they have management? What's their customer base look like? Are they relocatable? There's a lot of different things that we look at in order to assess that value. Then we look at the financials, and most business owners do not have clean financials. So I'll give you a quick example. I had a seller who wanted to sell their business for $1 million. On their tax returns, they were losing over $60,000 a year. On paper, their business is only worth inventory and assets because they were losing money. But by the time I conducted my extensive audit, which took me about 3 months, 3 to 6 months, peeling back all the layers of the onion to find out what the true seller's discretionary earnings really were, I discovered they weren't losing $60,000 a year. They were actually making $400,000 a year. So we sold their business for $1.2 million in 30 days. And that's what we do. That's what we do for our clients.
So you were able to really delve down into the numbers that were important and show that to potential buyers, and they were obviously impressed.
And it can take 3 to 6 months to do that, depending upon how messy someone's records are. And one of the
when you go in there to represent a business, you need access to all the records. They need to open up everything to you.
Absolutely. And I mean, I had a medical practice that I sold, and all their financial records were in shoe boxes. And they literally brought their shoe boxes to my office, and we go through all their books and records to discover what the business is making.
Wow. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of these businesses probably are mom and pop businesses. Maybe they don't have professional accounting help and don't have specialized folks that help them in their business, that they sort of do it themselves?
Well, they do it themselves, but some of them have CPAs, but they still have, expenses that they run through the business that we have to find those add backs, you know, such as cars, travel, meals, entertainment. Many business owners do run personal expenses through the business. So it's our job to find out what that business is truly making, what the seller's true discretionary earnings really are. And, you know, we have larger businesses that have clean books and records, but there are still personal expenses that need to be added back.
So you'll deal with a business as small as what? I mean, what is the range that
Well,
you'll deal with?
myself personally, I deal with $1 million businesses and up, and my agents, my firm, my agents will deal with businesses 50,000 and up. So we have $20 million listing right now. We have $30 million listing we're working on.
Right.
So again, anywhere from 50,000 on up to millions.
Is it tough in this economy? You've been doing this for a while, so how does this compare to other time periods?
Well, it is tough because financing is not as easy as it once was. Not that it was ever easy, but it's very difficult to be able to obtain financing these days. So you really have to get creative, not in just pricing the business, but packaging the business. And when we have a seller, a willing seller and a willing buyer, we can always structure a deal that works for both parties to create that win-win.
Let's talk a little bit about, in our remaining few minutes here, your work with Eric Trump. That seems to be pretty interesting.
Yes, I have met Eric on several different occasions.
This is the son of Donald Trump.
Yes, it is. Thank you for clarifying that. But we've spoke on stage many times. We've had dinner, attended the Celebrity Apprentice finale. I went to the party afterwards and have become friends. And I love charities and I love children. So a percentage of the proceeds of the book, Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, will be donated to the Eric Trump Foundation.
And talk about a successful...
In care of St. Jude's Hospital,
okay.
Research Hospital.
And that is located where? St. Jude's Research
St.
Hospital?
Jude's is all over. They have locations all over.
Okay.
Yes.
But talk about a successful businessman, Donald Trump. I mean, he has got to be one of the most successful of all time.
I met him as well, and met him at the Celebrity Apprentice finale. But yeah, he's very successful.
Wow. Now, in our final minute or so, you're going to have a book launch coming up?
I am. I'm going to have a book launch May 30th, and everyone can RSVP at, I don't know if I'm allowed to give the number,
Yeah,
but 504-525-1717. That was 525-1717. It will be next 30 at 5:30 to 7:30. Or 5:30 to 8.
And tell our viewers where it's going to be.
It's going to be at Tomas Bistro Gallery on Tchoupitoulas.
Okay, and it's open to whoever wants to
Yes,
RSVP?
but we do need RSVP, yes.
Okay, well that's great, and that'll be from 5:30 to 8 that evening.
Yes, and we're going to have some celebrities there. We will also have a local charity called First Book because we wanted to make sure that we gave back to the New Orleans community as well. So everyone's encouraged to bring a new book to donate to this charity in order to help fight illiteracy in New Orleans.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well, congratulations on your first book, and
Thank you.
congratulations on maybe many more in the future.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, stay tuned, folks. A whole lot more Louisiana Business Spotlight coming your way.